Nothing's worse than being a server in a family that doesn't understand the business.
Yeah.
And
how are you not off?
How are you not off? They put a lot of pressure on you to be there. And basically, they're putting pressure on you to get fired.
Exactly.
Hi, welcome to the Modern Waiter Podcast. I'm Marlon Joseph, the Modern Waiter, where we discuss all things restaurant business. Learn something, laugh at something. On today's episode, it's Christmas on the clock.
Yes.
Yes, we work holidays. An inside look at essential professions that never take a holiday. Meet the real Santas. But first, the intro.
Tired of working deadbeat jobs for lame pay. I'm tired of getting fired and hired the same day. If you know the rules of the game, then you'll stay.
As usual, I'm joined by my good friend Danny DeVilla.
What's up, people?
If you're among these 5 professions, you work holidays, including Christmas. I know that holidays can be a necessity in certain professions. There are certain drawbacks and challenges that employees can face. And later on in the show, we'll go through the pros and cons of working on holidays. I know you think what you're thinking, like, what pros can there be? But for me, they're pros. I love that shirt, my man.
Thank you.
Now, what can you guess the top 5 professions that work holidays?
I will say, definitely hospitals, right?
Healthcare professions, yes.
Emergency response, which would be, police.
Yes. You're on a roll. Yes.
Hospitality and hotels.
That's in order. You've hit 1, 2, and 3.
I know 7-Eleven, but I don't know what that counts for because it's like...
You're pretty much there. Retail workers.
Yeah.
Yes. Bring it home with the last one. Come on. You can do it.
Oh, what else works holidays?
It's kind of like a non-obvious one. The public transportation.
Okay.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Because I thought they shut down on Christmas.
Come on, man. You got to go where you got to go.
You do got to go where you got to go.
You think the subway's closing?
No, not in the city, but I mean, smaller towns they do.
But public transportation, public transportation.
Right. Yeah,
right. The buses got to run.
It runs on a holiday schedule. It doesn't run on a regular schedule.
Yes, but they still run. They still got to get stuff done. I mean, and that's just the top. There are
of course,
a whole host of people work on holidays, but yes, healthcare professions. The paramedics still got to work. Healthcare workers, nurses, doctors, emergency services like police officers, firefighters, first responders, things like that, and of course.
And the crazy comes out during the holidays. Have you ever noticed that hospitals and stuff like that, they're always packed, okay, on the holidays?
Because these people, they're home together in mass.
Yeah.
They are home together in mass. So it's like a big boiling point, Then we have our hospitality, us. And so that's, to me, one of the biggest ones that could go either way.
Yeah.
Because do you really have to open, but you're in business, so you want to capture the business?
Exactly.
So and some hospitality, they're closed.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of spots I know of, there's especially like I think I mentioned our boy before, our boy Jason Raymond, his old restaurants, they would be closed on all the holidays.
Yes.
And that was one of his biggest things when he started his business was he wanted to make sure there's people. And even in South Florida, there's a restaurant company called Be Nice. And they give all their holidays, not all of them, but the big ones.
Yeah.
They're closed, I think. They're definitely closed Christmas. They're definitely closed on Thanksgiving. They close on 4th of July. They close on...
No, that's bold.
Yeah. And they close... I think there was one other day that they're guaranteed, but it's like 4 or 5 days out the year that they're closed regardless.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
You don't have the staffing headaches and things like that. And it really it gives you that endearment to the staff. I like it. I don't mind working holidays, obviously.
I mean, we work them, but for the kudos to those people, to those restaurant groups that don't make you work on the holidays.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, there are pros and cons to working on the holidays, so we're going to discuss that.
Yes.
Let's start with the cons.
Well, I'm guessing your number one issue is going to be staffing.
That's up there. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, because everybody wants off. It's one of those kind of things. Now, obviously, there's certain holidays that are going to be bigger than others, and I think Christmas got to be one of the hardest ones to staff. Because everybody's like, well, I got to go see my family. I got to do this. I got to do that.
Yes.
Anybody can have an excuse for Christmas.
And it involves travel.
It does.
Usually. So, because if you want off, you're not just wanting off for Christmas if you're going to travel.
No, you're leaving.
You're leaving, and you're leaving for a few days.
Exactly.
So in and around Christmas, the schedule makers are going to have a challenging time to cover you with other people that may say, hey, I got to work Christmas. Let me get off Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Let me do it the day after. I could push
Exactly.
my family back a little bit. And it's like,
yeah, those people that they're local.
Janice is out of town.
Exactly. I mean, I don't work Christmas Day personally. But if I'm here, I'll work Christmas Eve. And I have no problem being, as long as it's in my normal flow of schedule, I'm good. So this year, Christmas fell on my normal flow of schedule of being off.
Gotcha.
So I'm actually able to go home this year. It's be the first time in almost 6 years that I've been home.
And you are going home.
And I'm going home.
When are you leaving?
I leave Christmas Eve in the morning.
Okay.
So I'll work, because Christmas Eve falls on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I took off Christmas Eve where I normally would work it.
Okay.
I will work, the busier part. I'll work that Saturday and the Friday, everything leading up to Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll leave first thing in the morning, Christmas Eve, and I come back Thursday night, which would be like the 28th. So I'll be home for the busy weekend going into New Year's.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then rinse repeat for minus you going away. Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve usually fall on the same day.
Yeah.
And so is Christmas and New Year's
Day.
And so you and I are very similar, where the day itself falls on my day off. I don't work on Mondays.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see.
What happens?
No one has approached me yet.
Got you.
Okay?
You're not above it, but at the same time, you're like...
I'm not above making money.
Exactly.
But let's save that for another thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about the cons. You mentioned staffing.
Yes.
And that's very legitimate.
Well, just people not even...
Limited family time.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, usually the holidays we're talking about family time.
Family time.
And particularly about Christmas. When we say holidays, yes, there's different modes of holidays. Mm-hmm. You have your Labor Day and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's totally Christmas time. Look at that gorgeous shirt, my man.
Yeah, it's Christmas. It's Christmas, baby.
It's Christmas, baby. And so we're having that in mind. A lot of people enjoy their families.
Yeah.
They have children, or they are children and their parents have expectations.
Absolutely.
Nothing's worse than being a server in a family that doesn't understand the business.
Yeah.
And
how are you not off?
How are you not off? They put a lot of pressure on you to be there. And basically, they're putting pressure on you to get fired.
Exactly.
Okay? Because one of the biggest things that you got to understand in this business is you work holidays.
You work, yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the stigma. If you worked as a cop, or I should say a policeman, or in first responders.
If you were a paramedic or if you were a firefighter, they wouldn't even question it.
They wouldn't question it. If you're a nurse,
there's no questioning it.
I got to go to work. You got to go to work.
Yeah.
But you work retail or you work as a server or a chef or whatever. This is your time. You work when other people are off.
Yeah.
But they question it. It's like, this is how I make my dough.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things that's why we do this show. We say it all the time. We bring these things to light because
for people that don't know.
That people don't know, and really just as a PSA, stop giving your family members in the business a hard time because
they're already going through it in their mind.
They're already nobody really wants to work holidays.
No.
Right? It can be quite annoying.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've done shows about working on holidays from the perspective of being there already, but that's not this show. Listen, limited family time, we get it. Mm-hmm. But
what are the other cons? What else you got?
Increased stress and fatigue, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, for sure.
It's a long shift.
Yeah. And like my spot is open from 12 on Thanksgiving and on Christmas Day. It's 12 to 8 or 12 to 9. I think it varies depending on business, obviously. But this year we were open at 12 to 9, and we had a later push on Thanksgiving. But I don't know what they're gonna do on Christmas.
Okay.
It depends on business.
Yeah.
But that's still a long day because you only want to staff one. You're not gonna put on 2 shifts.
If you put 2 shifts on, it's more headache for you.
Exactly.
And you might as well ride that wave with the one shift. For me, it's better to just close earlier.
Yeah.
Right? To not really fatigue. For instance, I worked Thanksgiving. It was a long
day.
shift. It was a long day. It was a double no break.
Yeah.
No downshift, no nothing, all the way through. And it really beat a lot of people up.
Yeah.
Particularly getting there at 10 and leaving at 9.
At 9 or 10, pretty much.
Yeah, without any, I mean, that's me. I mean, people were there even earlier. If you're
later.
talking back of the house,
Yeah.
They're there
Earlier and later.
super early, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Prepping with those turkeys and everything else. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then you have people who are there after me, like the bussers and things like that. So that's a particularly long day.
Yeah.
It's nice to be there for guests.
Absolutely.
And nice to make the money. But the flip side of it, somebody has to be there.
Yeah.
And that could be very fatiguing, being on your feet the whole time. And the people who come at the last turn still deserve your best.
Absolutely.
And though you might be fatigued, you didn't get a chance to sit down and eat a thing. That's a tough.
Yeah.
That's
It's hard. It's hard keeping that smile on all day.
Oh yeah. And the professionals do it, but next we're going to talk about is the impact on your work-life balance. Mm-hmm. We touched upon it with the limited family time, but let's just say everyone has a holiday for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you work all week, you deserve to have some time off. Mm-hmm. What happens when you're in one of these professions that you don't have that balance? You don't have, you work.
You work all week, and then somebody calls out on you, and then you're stuck at work again.
Yes. You work holidays. You work weekends,
yeah.
You work nights, you work swing shifts, particularly like nurses and things like that. They work a ton of hours in a couple of days in a row.
Exactly.
And then they might be off. But listen, when you've worked, when you
work 40 hours in pretty much 3 days, your body is wiped.
Yeah. You ain't trying to do anything the very next day or the very next 2 days.
I work 30 plus hours in pretty much 3 days. Mm-hmm. And by that Monday, I tell my husband, I sleep pretty much all day Monday.
Yeah.
And just kind of, and he goes, you never catch up on sleep. I said, well, I tried to.
Once you miss sleep, it's gone. It's gone. So I at every opportunity that I can, I try not to miss sleep because it's really a detriment to your health.
Yeah.
And so that's the number one thing. If you do nothing else, having a good amount of sleep in the proper window is
huge.
It's very, very big. Now, the social isolation that one might feel working, you feel separated, and then you get that feeling of I'm in this by myself, because generally we don't work with our families.
No.
Right? So then our families are doing one thing and we're doing another. And this one is very...
And you get those texts, like you'll be at work and you'll be like, your phone is just blowing up.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You get the thing. And
when are you getting off?
Exactly. You're like...
One thing that I've learned to do this year is leave my phone on the shelf.
I like that.
I used to keep it in my pocket, and it's just a matter of, I keep my things on me. And I noticed that Paul does that. He keeps his phone on the shelf. And once I did that, it liberates me.
Oh, man, because you're not thinking about it.
You're not thinking about it.
And then by the time you get to it, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That has gone through. Because it's only in the moment that you're worried about what's going on. Once you've already completed the task, you're like, okay, well, I missed it, but I'm free now, or I'm almost free, or, you can almost respond and be like, what's going on now?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough to live in two worlds. You're at work, and you already, you have 8 bosses.
Yes.
Right? You got to deal with everything, and now you got to deal with the pressure, and you feel separated from
your family,
your family, or what the spirit of the holiday is. And
especially
you get people
when you come from, like, let's say you're new to, like, we live in South Florida, and you get a lot of people that are transient, and they don't, they just come down, and it's their first year.
Yeah.
You see it on them the most.
Yes.
Like, hey,
it weighs on them.
Oh, yeah.
It weighs heavy.
Yeah. We've been doing this for a long time. So for us, we're like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We have roots here. We have created new families. We have created, we create our own community. Mm-hmm. Now, I remember, though, when my first year here, it was tough on me. because you're used to, even if you worked on, you still went home to family. You still went and saw certain people. You still, to not see them at all or to miss the party completely or all the above. I get it. It weighs on you. And it's going to be a couple of years for anybody, especially moving to a new town and, starting over with things like that you have to work in this business. It is going to be hard. Yeah. But, you'll make it through. You'll make a good amount of money, hopefully.
It's nice when the ownership tries to make it as easy as possible on you, because I find it to be very empty when I'm working Christmas and Merry Christmas. It ain't a Merry Christmas.
I'm here.
I'm here. What do you think? I'm glad you're here.
I'm happy for you.
But it ain't a Merry Christmas.
It ain't for me.
Get out of here. No, don't get out of here, but get out of here. It's one of those things that you're better off not saying anything. I get the sentiment. Absolutely. I understand what you're trying to say, but it's a Merry Christmas for you. For you. Yes. Fine.
Me taking care of you.
Yes. It's like,
now, if I say it to you and you say it back, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like if I initiate it, but you don't have to say anything.
No, I don't really mind it. It's not a point of contention for me.
He's the Grinch. Don't let him lie to you. That's why he's wearing green right now.
I am very Grinchy. I lean on the pro sides of working on holidays. It's just one of those things that I don't really want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. I can't stand when I get the if I don't hear from you all year, don't give me the Merry Christmas text. Yeah. Don't give me the Merry Christmas emojis and the memes and things like that. I don't care. I care about us communicating all year long.
Exactly.
If we're friends, if we're only friends on Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, save it. Yeah. And it's okay. No, it's really fine.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at you, but I don't want to go through the litanies of like Merry Christmas.
Now, if you're here, like if you're if you're on vacation or you're coming down to visit us, hit us up completely. But if you're in a different state and
that's not a hit up, it's a mass text.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want the mass text. What am I going to do with that? Right?
Exactly.
You're wasting my time. I'm working here.
Yeah, you look. There's 20 different responses. You're like, oh my God, how did I get caught up in that group text?
Yeah, I can't stand it. It's just empty. However, if you write my name, hey, Merry Christmas, Marlon, show me that it's a personalized text, I'm gonna respond to you.
Yeah, you'll respond, exactly.
Like you write to me, hey buddy, whatever. We talk all the time.
Yes.
But if we don't talk all the time and you want to message me. Yes. Take that time. But if I'm in a long line of groups going through your phone because you're bored and you're
just sending emojis, or whatever,
and you make it feel good,
nah.
No. Skip me.
Yeah.
Not offended if I'm not included.
I'm okay with that.
Stop wasting my time. And moving on as well to another con is the difficulty in planning and committing to events.
Yes.
Are you coming?
Probably not.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm off.
Exactly.
As I stand here right now telling you that I'm usually off on Mondays, I still don't know.
You don't know if you're working or not.
I don't know if I'm working or not.
Exactly.
Because you know what?
You don't know who went away or who doing this.
Yes.
XYZ. You might be on.
I might be on. I might be on a lot.
Yeah.
I might be on all day. I might be working a double on Christmas. Who knows? Because and you just don't really know. You can't plan.
No.
When you're in this business, you can try to plan.
Yeah, you can try to.
Yes. Best you could do is this. You could, if you're going out of town,
you can book your ticket.
You can book your ticket. You might get fired, but you're going.
You're going.
Right?
Once the ticket's booked, you're going.
Once you take
my ticket's booked, I'm going.
Yeah, but if you're local and you think you're just going to have off on Christmas and come back the next day, you ain't getting off. You know what I mean? Like, you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to take that leap of faith.
Exactly.
And say, yeah, bro, I can't be there. I'm not going to be there. And what are they going to do? I mean, honest to God, like, listen, you're a good employee, I know it's not preferable time, but that's the kind of leap you have to take.
Yeah.
But if you're just, I overheard a kid on Thanksgiving say, oh, can I be home by 6 because I laughed.
A server?
No, it was a busser.
Okay.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
If you're a busser, we could, like, as things go down, you could work one of them out.
Yeah.
And I think he asked in a right manner, like, hey, I get it, but
if I'm here,
Yeah.
If not, can I go?
Yeah, if at all, if this can make it happen, and you want to make as much happen as possible.
If I can be the first cut and you guys don't need me, can I bounce?
Yes.
And if not, I get it. I'll stay and work.
Yes.
And that's the way to approach it.
I agree.
That's the 100% the way to approach it. All you do, you put yourself on the radar saying, hey, you want to get out if you can. Mm-hmm. But you're not being a dick, like, I got to go, I got to do this, it's not set in stone. You're on the radar at this point.
True.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I got it because he's young, but it's kind of a dumb question.
Oh, it's horrible.
Everybody wants to go.
Everybody wants to go.
Yeah. No one wants to stay on Christmas. But, I thought he asked in a nice way. I just shook my head and been like, well,
I don't know. But
what can I tell you? And so if you enjoy our show, give us a like.
Yes.
Smash that like button, that kind of thing. It really helps us to know where
we at.
Yeah, where we at and where to go with the show. Mm-hmm. And so the pros of working holidays.
Well, for us, the tip's usually better. Okay, because you get the sympathy, love. Okay, so people are sympathetic to you being stuck there too. You get. I'm not saying all of them, but a good amount. I'll say 60-40. I'm not even gonna go. I was bringing as like maybe 80-20, no, but it's like 60-40.
Really?
Yeah, where you're gonna get a better. They'll leave you a little more. They'll leave you a little. Instead of you getting, if they're 20% there, but they're gonna leave 25%.
I don't experience that.
Really?
I find that, and it could be a number of factors. I find that the price point being where it is, it's almost their gift to you that they were here.
Showed up. Yeah.
It was like, you lucky I'm paying these prices.
Oh yeah, because you do the brunch.
I do the brunch, but even if it's a dinner, you know what I mean? It's still it's an occasion place.
Yeah.
So their occasion just happens to be the holiday.
Yeah.
And so I don't really. There's some people that I'm familiar with that would give me,
Absolutely, you get some regulars come in.
Yes, that's where I see it.
And that will get you through, yeah, because that's what helped me through on Thanksgiving. I had some regulars come and see me, and they balanced. They elevated my day instead of balancing it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the regulars, I think, are what makes it for me.
Yeah.
More so the fact that I have a known quantity sitting at my table on a holiday, it ends up feeling family adjacent.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Right.
It gives you that feeling of, okay, I feel good about this. At least you're here to give me my balance. I'm not getting it at home. I'll get it here.
Yeah, you're giving out some love to people that you actually do love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And so for me, letting you in on my personality, you mentioned that I was a Grinch, and I am, right? For me, I don't mind working holidays because for the most part, holidays can be a little noisy.
Yeah.
Noisy by me saying noisy. What are you going to do here? What are you going to do at this time? I know people that go to 3-4 houses on Christmas.
Oh, man.
Yo, that's a lot of, and so working can quiet some of that noise. Mm-hmm. What do you do? I'm working.
I'm working.
I'm working.
I'm doing one thing.
I'm doing one thing. Count me out.
Count me out.
Right?
I'm good.
And so I've learned to rely on that, where I really want to unplug from the extraneous things that I don't feel really belong in my holiday.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to 5 different places and wear myself out and then I'm dropping at the end. I'd rather just work and make money instead of dealing with all you bozos.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough to deal with the fakeness of it all. Give me my Christmas every day.
Exactly.
Right? Show me love every day.
Yeah.
That's to me more important than, we got to go over here. We got to drive 12 miles over there, 20 miles back the other way. These people are going to get mad at us if we don't show up. Mad at who? Why? For what?
I'm working.
I'd rather work in some cases. Not in the way that I don't enjoy my family, but it's the noise behind all the other stuff. I don't feel like I need to really satisfy other people outside my immediate family. Let's huddle together and let's chill. I'll see you another time.
Exactly.
Or I go to one house. Give me one house.
One house is fine.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where the value for working comes in for me. And another thing as well is I really am not that big on Christmas, so I don't mind working so someone else doesn't have to.
Exactly.
Right? But if it's on my day off, I'm not working.
I'm chilling, yeah.
I'm chilling. You're really going to have to come to me personally and be like,
yo, I need you.
I need you. Can you work?
Yeah.
And so I'm rather curious how it's going to play out, but for me, I'd sit at home.
Yeah.
By myself.
He'll do nothing.
I'll do nothing and enjoy it. And not have to deal with, coming into work. And so some of these that are pros don't really even apply to us.
Yeah.
Like overtime.
No. Actually, we got overtime on our check for Thanksgiving.
Who are you?
And they gave us, time and a half, not overtime.
It's still, time and a half is overtime.
Yeah.
It ain't double time, but it's overtime.
Yeah.
That's good. I wonder if I got that.
You got a check for working the holiday.
I don't even look at my paychecks.
I know, neither do I. But it was funny because, Amy's been on the show. She actually mentioned it and said we did. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't even notice that.
Listen, any kind of check or any non-tip thing,
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
Exactly.
I mean, you might live in a state and let us know. Let me know in the comments, or you can email me, themodernwaiter@gmail.com. Let me know. Follow me on Instagram at the Modern Waiter Podcast. Do you live in a state where you actually get a check? Right? Like your hourly is such that, because my hourly gets
you get small checks, all right?
I get small checks. Most of my hourly gets
Eaten up for taxes.
Eaten up for taxes,
Which is fine.
which is perfectly fine by me. But I get the tiniest of tiny checks.
Yeah.
I used to get none, but they've been raising.
They've been raising the price of So now we get little checks.
We get little. Yes,
Which I'm okay with.
I'm okay. Of course, it's money.
Yeah.
Used to be for the 75% of my career in doing this business. We made $2.19.
Yeah, $2.18 or something like that.
$2.18, $2.19, then it went to $3 something, then whatever. It's up there now.
Oh yeah.
It's not minimum wage.
No.
It's tipped employees never make minimum wage. But depending on the state, they make minimum wage or whatever. So if you're in that state, let me know how much you make.
Yeah.
Put it in let's educate each other.
Absolutely.
So the overtime, but imagine you're a nurse.
Now, yeah.
Or a police officer.
One of those, yes.
You're making overtime, time and a half, double time.
That's when that's why they don't question it. Your family. There's
That's
no question,
true.
because
that's true.
They know, okay? Bring that in.
Exactly.
Where you were making X, Y, Z before, you're making double that. They're like, oh, yo,
Daddy's got to go to work. Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll be. We'll hold this down.
Don't worry.
Agreed.
That just paid for half the presents. Go to work.
Yes. Another thing that doesn't really apply to us is that, let's say you work in an office and you got to work on the holiday. You're now enjoying a quiet environment.
Oh, it's great. There's nobody there.
Yes. Nobody at the restaurant is not a good thing.
No.
Right?
You need people. You need asses and seats.
You need asses and seats. But if you're, in law enforcement and it's quiet,
that
you're good.
You're chilling at your desk. You're like, oh,
yeah, this is nice.
Okay.
Let me play some Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Some Wordle.
Especially imagine like those small town where the cops is like,
somebody's got to be on.
Yeah, somebody's just got to be on, but they know everybody. And
yes.
They must be super chill, yo.
That's gravy, baby.
Yeah.
That to me. I don't know, because of the boredom, I'd prefer some action.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, I'll go in for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I go into the office.
You pop in.
Yeah.
Somebody else leaves, they pop in.
Nobody's here. I could get some work done.
Yeah. Go back on some other stuff.
Yes. I like that part. Now, this one, having a sense of contribution, a sense of purpose. You go in. So for me personally, if somebody, who has little children, who really loves the holiday season, if they're griping about working, I've done it. I've done it a lot of times. I'd be like,
I got you.
Don't tell nobody, but I'll work.
I'll take it. Yeah, I don't want them to know, but
Yeah. So my way of doing that is I'm not going to switch it on the schedule. I'll just show up.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm working for Bert or whatever the case may be, because I want them to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, I think I have a good time all the
year
time.
round. Exactly.
Yeah, all year round. That's my whole thing. That's why I don't really do holidays like Valentine's Day. My my challenge is to be romantic all year round, or at any given time. So same thing with Christmas. You want to be generous with your time.
You don't want to feel obligated to do anything.
No, it ain't me. Yeah. I don't really want to live like that.
Yeah.
As of now, Danny and I are off. You're going to be out of town, so I'm going to miss that. I made you some mac and cheese for Thanksgiving.
It was very good.
I'm not sure. Am I still on the hook for creme brulee?
Oh, you know you are.
Oh, man. But you're not even going to be here.
I can get it before. I can get it after.
Fine.
It goes in my freezer anyways.
Fine.
I don't even eat it until the January stint because we don't drink.
Yeah. So that you substitute?
I indulge in other ways.
I can't hate on that. We do this for you each and every week. Thank you so much for joining our show. I'm Marlon Joseph, the Modern Waiter.
I'm Dana Villain. Subscribe, people.
We will see you next time.
Later. Ho, ho, ho.